everybody, it's Debbie at Inkylicious. I'm just going to take you through some of the stamps and products that we've had over like the last 10 months. Some have only just managed to go onto the website, and I do apologise, but this is what happens because we make all the stamps and stencils ourselves, so a lot of our time is spent actually making the products. So I'll go through a few of them, and some you may have seen, some you might not, but all these now are fully on the website for you. This is the blowing bubbles, which we used to do just with the little boy, but then everybody said, could we have a little girl with it? So we have done the little girl now. All our stamps come in paper eco packaging, so it's fully recyclable. The images that you see on the fronts are the actual stamped image sizes. See, like with this one with the little girl, that is the actual stamp size. So whatever you see on the front of this packaging is the stamp. So that's just lovely. It looked great in circle bubbles, and then you could sort of make it look like the blowing bubbles inside a bubble. We have the just foliage stamp, which is lovely on its own, but you could add it to any other floral things that you have. You could also use it for backgrounds. Some of the new Twinchy stamps, and a Twinchy is a stamp between 1 and 2 inches. So this is the Christmas stars, and there is a little emblem on here for cut to separate the stamps. So it's all different sorts of Christmas stars, but the idea behind these is that when you get them, just get your scissors, and then all you'll do is just snip them to separate them. You could leave it as a full stamp set if you want, but obviously the idea is to cut them to use them separately. The other Twinchy stamp that we have is the holly and pine stamps. Now we have had these out before, but for some reason they haven't been on the website for a few years, so I found them again and we're doing them again. So you've got holly and pine sprigs. These you can use for corners or to make edges round cards, or the other thing that they're great for is making a wreath. So just with a circle stencil, put some dots so you know the shape of your circle, and then just randomly stamp these, or even use them in conjunction with some of our other stamps like the mini branches and twigs. So these again are perfect for making wreaths. The mini cats we've had out for a while, but sorry they didn't get to the website. Anyhow, they are on there now. So for those of you who make smaller size cards, all the cat stamps that we do will be going into the mini version as well. This is one of the new beach sayings, sand in your toes. May you always have a shell in your pocket and sand in your toes. And then these were some lovely shells that myself and my granddaughter collected while we were away on holiday recently. So I thought I'd put them to good use. So that is just a matching tag for this, done using our By the Sea Waves stamp. Right, we've got some new sayings out as well. Strength and courage. There's always somebody who might be going through a bad time, or you just want to give somebody a nice inspirational verse. So these sort of stamps, we've got have no fear and strength and courage. They both work together. You could use them on the outside of a card or an inside of a card with a sentiment that you want to write. So we have things like courage isn't having the strength to go on, it's going on when you don't have the strength. Strength doesn't come from what you can do, but overcoming what you thought you couldn't. The only courage you need is the courage to follow your dreams. So that's just a few of those. This one is have no fear. Trust the way, embrace the uncertainty. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. Again, these are all great inspirational quotes, or just to sort of perk someone up if they're a bit down. One day you will look back and realise that you worried too much about the things that didn't really matter. This one you'll have seen on some of my boat samples. Sometimes in the winds of change we can find our true direction. But also on here is another perfect one for the boating ones. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some come to clear your path. So again, I think that one would be perfect with the boats. Tall field grasses. Gosh, I did this quite a while ago. Some of you will have seen the samples actually that I put online quite a while ago, and I've only just now gotten around to getting the stamp set actually up and on the website. So I've always wanted some lovely tall grasses, just nice tall thin grasses, and that's what these are. So you've got 8 stamps. When you put them on the blocks, obviously you can bend your stems so you can have them tilted left and right. This one is done first of all just creating the background just with general ink pads, just on watercolour cold press cardstock. This one is, and I've used an old Kaleidocolor, not the Spectrum, it's one of the old Kaleidocolor multicoloured ink pads. There is a way to do this with your normal ink pads, so when I do a demo for these I will show you how this is done. So the backgrounds, like I say, are just done just with your regular ink pads, and they're just so easy to do. I've got marks on this, but it doesn't matter because when I stamp it you won't even see them. So just using different colours. So I will take you through how we do all these kind of backgrounds, and again with the sun moons, so you can fade them out to make them look as though they're in the distance. So whatever you have, moody ones, and this is just a background that I'm going to do a nice vintage style one on. So you don't have to always do scenic, you can do vintage style. Eucalyptus leaves. This one came out last year. Apologies again, it's only just now on the website. So again, you can mix and match all of these to create your own style. So you've got your berry stem, your eucalyptus stems, you've got a small berry branch, you've got individual leaves, and you've got a eucalyptus branch. So again, you can build these up, so if it doesn't quite fit your card, use the small branches just to fill in where you need it, or to make corners in your cards. So this is just a quickie one that I did, just stamped, and I just used some brush pens just to colour it in. The new sentiment is within you all you need. So that's this one again, which I know a few of you have spotted on the website and you've been buying it, so thank you very much. So again, that's the size. You can always cut it, stamp it and just cut it into different bits, so when you ink it up, just either masking tape or something so you don't get ink on the other bit, and use it in sections so you can just put bits around your card. Cosmos, twice as nice. Why is it twice as nice? Because not only do you get the silhouette stamps, you get the matching outline stamps for them as well. So if you want a quick card, stamp it in the silhouettes. 2 stems, you've got left and right, and they both join onto the actual flowers. So again, you can shape the stem on your block. You've got some buds, you've got different leaves, and as I said, the nice thing is you can either stamp the outline and colour it in. You could stamp the silhouette in a colour and stamp over with the outline, and then it as though you had coloured it in. So that's another quick way to do it. And again, there's 15 stamps on here, so they're just such a lovely quick card to do. So this is one that I did, just a quick background, just using some inks and just wet, you know, doing your splodging on your mats. But again, when you stamp them, so you've got your solid, which is that one, and then I find it easier just to stamp your florals first, the parts that you want, your flowers, so stamp them where you want, and then come in and fill in with your stems. Okay, so you can always join your stems up as well, turn them round, join them up, and then add in any other fillers for them that you want. And the edge in there is just with a micron pen, and I can't draw a straight line to save my life, which is good because then you can draw these kind of edges. So just draw and purposely make sure it is a bit wiggly, and then it'll look perfect on it. The other one now is Lazy Daisy. And this one I love. It's got a cute little ladybird down at the bottom here. And again, it's build it how you want it. You don't have to use them all. You can just use elements of them. But this is one that I did more of a vintage style. Well, it's not vintage. And I've used earlier on, I don't know if it was this year or last year, but we brought out the postcard stamp set. So again, lots of stamps there. It's Postcard Creator, so you can create whatever style postcard you want. So you could do a full-on postcard. You get your separator line there that goes in the middle. We have given you faux addresses and faux messages, or you could use it and write your own. So what I did on this one is just creating a background with the inks, stamp the background with a carte postale, and I've just used my white Signo pen to colour it in, and my ink pads to colour those in as well. So these ones haven't matted and layered up yet. I've just me playing with it, and I don't know if we can see it. Let's see if we can find there is gold and everything on these. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do and how to matte and layer these ones up, or what I'm going to put them with. But it's just to show you, so even, you know, the daftest of colours. So this was just a pink background I did, some masking fluid on the daisy, which I use Schminky. Just found it the easiest to use, and it's never torn my papers. So ladybird down there, which I am going to colour in, and I'll probably put some glossy accents on just to highlight it. This is more vintage style again, using the postcard stamps. This is one that I've just started colouring in, and it's using the brush pens for watercolour basically. So I've done this, so I need to go over the daisy again with just a bit more white. And another one I've started but not finished. And again, I'll use the brush pens to colour the stems and everything in. But all I've done here is stamp first, just with a grey ink pad. So it gives me the outline, and then I can come in and fill it all in and add my highlights and shadows. So like on the pink one where I've added shadows behind. And that'll make your card pop. So these were just other backgrounds that were all in there just to pop the daisies on. Let's move these out the way a minute because I'm getting a bit big here. Right, Riverside. Oh yes, this has been out a while, and I'm so sorry. People at the shows have seen this and got it and everything. Riverside, I wanted some foreground foliage for stamping, and it's nice at times. I've got plenty of foliage stamps that you can do this with, the natural grasses, essential grasses, but I wanted a quick stamp. So this time, this is a landscape stamp. So even if you've got a larger A5 card, you can still use these edges to fill in along. And the thing with these as well is that when you're stamping them, so if I was here with this and I wanted to carry it on, I'd just tilt my stamp up to there and just add the tips of these to carry the foliage along. And again, that is the actual size of the stamp that you get. So these are some quick cards that I did, and that's the bare branches, and I used the birds on top of the foliage. Now I'm going to be doing some demos of these because this is me testing out cardstock. So whenever I'm testing card, I try all different inks, I try different mediums, I try different things. If you look on here, I've written on the back all the different cards that I've been testing out, and there's no point wasting them, so I might as well stamp them up. So this one was actually me testing different cardstocks with different ink types. So again, I've used the bare branches at the top and just stamped these at the bottom. I think this is an oxide, hence why it's so pale compared to when you don't use oxides. So like I say, what we'll do is I'll show you how to do all these kind of backgrounds and different blending things, and we'll use these sort of stamps. The other thing that I've also used Riverside with is the Island Trees stamp sets. So this one here that we did, so this one, I use this one in the foreground here, and as you can see, what I've done here is just to take elements of it. So this part I only inked up from here just to use it here, and then we've repeated here a bit. This part here I've just inked the top up just to extend it up again and use it in different areas, and then this part here is obviously here now. So it just finishes off the card in the foreground. Again, this is Island Trees. More Island Trees. Yes, we will be doing some demos with them, I promise. Let's put them out. Right, the sailing boats. Let's move these all out the way now a minute, and then I can show you all the sailing boats properly. Sailing boats, perfect for men's cards, but not just men's cards, they're just lovely anyhow. Again, the stamps are the actual size that you see on the packet is the actual size, so the printed image is the actual size. So there's 7 stamps in this in total. So this is one that Emma's done, which I think is just a lovely card. You can't actually see the shimmer on camera, but it's got a beautiful shimmer with it. These ones are just to show you quick ways of using your ink pads for backgrounds. So whether you just want to do a freehand shape, or if you mask your card off, then again, just absolutely lovely. And again, these are from the sayings that we've had. The only courage you need is the courage to follow your dreams. And this one says, not all storms come to disrupt your life, some can come to clear your path. So I did the same after I did it in that. I thought, well, let's do it in blue. We need a blue one. So again, just doing it freehand. This is just with your normal ink pads that you have everywhere. I'm looking because I've got a big shelf behind me, a big ink rack, so I'm pointing to them, but you can't see them. Again, the new sayings: don't let the fear of the unknown keep you from experience a life greater than you have ever known. This is our Go Do It stamp. You know all those things you've been wanting to do. You should go do them. Life is too short. And again, they're just really quick cards, so we will be doing some demos with these. The other thing you can do as well, which I meant to say, is with these, if you did want white sails in them, just use your white pen and fill in. Just fill in some of the triangle areas, and then you can have a full sail on them. So these ones were just done with various inks. As far as I can remember, these were distress inks, and it's just such a lovely, I don't know if you can catch the shimmer in the water on this one, but that was, if you know where that is, then you know, I know where it is. And I must do a stencil actually of nice cliff faces and things, and again, that's the same island, but they're just lovely sunset ones which you could use for a men's card or a masculine card. So we will be doing a demo on all these for you. Right, let's move on, and we're going to show you the other things that are new on the website. Some of you have seen them. Well, I know a fair few of you have found them, and it's these, the blending brushes. I've used these now. You'll see me using these in all our demos. They're just the easiest thing I've found for blending. We do them in 2 sizes. We do a large and a small. So depending on how you feel when you're holding them, but they're just so comfortable to hold. So when you hold them, I literally just hold them in 2 fingers. I'm not having to grab a handle, I'm not having to pinch on anything. It's just a really nice light. So you've got 2 sizes in them, and now they do have white bristles, so you can see your colour, whereas before with the brown bristles you can't. So these ones now you can see the colour. We do still give you, it comes in the packet, so it's got all your labels in, so you can label the top of it, you can label your case, so even if they were just laying on the site, obviously you'd know which colour, but you can see. And I just use them for per colour group, so one for your reds, one for your oranges, one for your blues. And I'll just show you quickly what I mean about blending with them. So I'll just grab a couple of mine that are here. So we'll use this blue one, seeing as it's here. And we'll grab some paper off the side. So these are the ones that I use basically every day, and I've got 15 and I don't use any more than that. And the only reason I've got 15 is there's a few colours where I might have a light and a dark, and instead of me just on a damp cloth at the side of me, if I am switching colours from a light to a dark, just rub it on a damp cloth, off on a piece of paper, and then go on again. But sometimes if I'm especially at shows demoing, I don't have time to keep doing that. So I've got my white, I've got all my like that's a grey, black, brown, and then I've got my light beiges, so things like antique linen, desert sand, very pale browns. That one shouldn't be in there because I don't use that one now. So I've got yellow, orange, red. Same again, I have 2 pinks because I have some very dark, really bright fuchsia pinks, but I also have some really soft baby pinks. Greens, dark and light green, blues, dark and light blue, and a purple. And that's all the ones that I use. So let's grab a pink. I've got a blue here, so we'll grab a yellow. Let's just go with yellow a minute. So if what you'll notice with my brushes is some have got an O on it. All my pigments and oxide inks are on the ones with an O on, and that way I'm not having to keep wiping them off if I'm switching between oxide and normal. So I keep one small set, which is about 9 brushes for my oxides and pigment inks, and the other set is all my dye ink. So it can be a distress ink, it can be Adirondack, it can be let's grab some here, mementos, anything that is a dye based. So obviously if you look at the back of any ink pad, it'll tell you whether it's a dye. This says on the front it's a dye based. Distress inks are all dye based. Adirondacks were the original range of them, and that's a make your own because I couldn't find the ink pad for that, but I had the re-inker, so I just made my own ink pad. So let's grab a couple of these and then I'll show you exactly about blending with these. The lovely thing I do like about these is that a lot of the time people will start off the edge of a card. Well, with these, if I want to start off in the middle and create a sun in the middle of the card with these, so let's just see what I do actually have on here. Yeah, I've already got yellow on here. Right, so I can just start off in the middle here. And create my blending. Okay, if I want some more, and we'll make it a bit darker. Okay, so that gives you a lovely hazy sun. Let's switch, let's grab my, I always leave it on the ink pad, and then that way you're not going to pick it up from somewhere else. Right, Right, I've got an orange here, so let's find, I know it'd be a nice orange, is ripe persimmon, if I can reach it. Right, so I'm just going to start on here with this. I'm not sure how wet my ripe persimmon is actually. And what we'll do is we'll blend that back through with the yellow. And let's find some, well, it's here, I might as well use watermelon. So I will get my red out. You'll see what I mean. The new ones now you can see which colour they are, whereas the old ones you couldn't. So I am still using my old ones, but for you, you'll all get the white coloured. So if you want to know what cardstock I'm actually working on at the moment, it is, I will show you, let's find it here, because I know a lot of you do ask, you know, what cardstock do I use. It's Craft UK A4 White Smooth. So I use this basically for everything. I use their card blanks for stamping on, and again this is just another similar thing. Don't know what cardstock that is, might be the same. So let's go back to this now. Just blend this through a little bit more. Okay, so that's why I prefer to use these kind of blending brushes now. But also you can still do, let's put an edge on this. Let's get rid of these a minute. Oh, on the floor. So if I just wanted to put a dark edge round, let's see what we've got here. With some black soap, then just to bring it in. I suppose while I'm here I might as well just stamp this one up as well. Everybody else always put their hands in the ink. Right, so that'll do for that one. Let me go grab one of them stamps that we've just had. Oh, I'll show you actually something. Right, if you want to do some trees in the background, I need some tape or a piece of card. A piece of card will do. I save all these are obviously when I've been doing beach scenes and things. Right, let's just quickly tape this down here. Grab a bit more tape. I'm just going to pop that on the card just to keep my card still. Right, if I want some foliage in the background, let's go back to this distress. Right, because these are shaped, so I'm just going to use the pointy end. Let's pick some ink up. Just get your brush and brush down. Do different heights, different strengths. So straight away you've got a bit of foliage in the background here, and then I'm just going to bring this down. Let's turn it round, make it a lot easier, Debbie. And just so I don't go over this too much, we'll just pop that back there. So that could be as though it's a reflection in the water. Where have I put that stamp? So we'll take our riverside. Next big thing, can I find a block to put it on? Right, the stamp paddles, which you've seen. So when you get them, you need to take off the protective covers. Like I said, the thing with these is that you can hover and that's going to make an awful noise. Gone. Right, so the thing with these is that you can hover over your card until you're ready to stamp. So what we'll do first, get rid of that one. I'll do this in pinecone because I can't find the black. And I'll show you because I'll bring some more. I'll heighten this part up here. Okay, so I just want to make this side a bit taller, so I'm just going to use the edges here. I'll use the grasses just to bring it up here a bit more. And we'll go there. Right, we need something coming in at this edge now. So what we'll do is move that out the way and right, leafy tree stamp. We can use this one just for edges as well. So we'll take this one off. I'm going to bring this one this way, so we'll pop it there. Right, I don't want the whole tree, I'm just going to use some of the branches. I was looking for my bare branches stamp. then I'll bring a bit more of the branches in this way. So use this edge. Oop. And we'll do a bit of shadowing just behind the background there. So all we're going to do is ink up, just on some scrap paper, just take off, and then we'll do a second impression that will be paler, and this will just give it some depth. And lastly, what we'll do is I'm just going to get a paintbrush and just some water. Because this ink hasn't been on that long, it's not really that dry. So what we can do is just put some streaks in for the water. And this will give the effect of to just do lines. It's not going to affect your VersaFine, that's an oil base. The rest of this is a water base, so don't worry about going across your VersaFine. All I'm doing here is just moving the ink just to give me some lines. Then we'll take I have no idea where any of my inks are at the minute. Just take a white ink pad, I must have one somewhere. Right, Brilliant's white. I've got a small one. So I'm just going to pop a bit on there. Again, I've still got some water on here. So I'm just going to just a little bit, and it's just put some lines through. I'm just going to soften them off a bit. Get a quick blast with a heat gun. And there you go. So you can either stamp a sentiment on there, put a couple of birds on, but that's your card. Right, I'm going to have a clean up and I will sort out some more demos for you really soon. So keep watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.